This is EA Sports. PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Here at the TPC Scottsdale in Arizona, and Frank, when so many people tune in to watch this great event, they think immediately of the 16th hole with all of those fans jammed in. It's like Fenway Park inside the desert there, but it's much more than that little par 3, isn't it?
It certainly is more than that, Rich. The TPC Scottsdale is a great venue for a PGA Tour event. It's a blend of everything: birdie opportunities, holes that are fought by water, bunkering that's been changed. All in all, it's a great atmosphere with nearly 500,000 people that visit this during the tournament week. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. She had a good shot off the tee, and now she has all sorts of options available. In 1996, the sudden death playoff between Phil Mickelson and Justin Leonard. Mickelson has always been the hero out here because he went to Arizona State.
Yeah, and it still runs through his veins, Rich. There was such an important win for him because to do it in front of people that he considered his home crowd was huge. And then also to do it in a playoff where, obviously it's win or lose. So for Mickelson, 1996 and TPC Scottsdale certainly ring home.
Once considered the best player at the college level, our featured golfer makes birdie sitting comfortably inside the cut line. Been some outstanding shot making to this point. Let's see what's happening now as we resume the action at the 7th. Frank, sometimes steady can win the day, especially over 4 rounds.
Yeah, too often we look at a player's best or their worst, but we forget what they normally play like. This is a really good testament to the ability of the player.
That one was running so hot. And setting up here in the rough. Frank, how much does that birdie help the cause?
It doesn't look like much right now, Rich, just sneaking inside the top 20. But at the end of the day, that might be the one that turned the tide.
Frank, the par 4 8th, this is a good hole.
It is. A dog leg to the left forces the player to go out the right, and this will play every inch of its yardage, which is over 470 yards. Green's still pretty much the same with that false front, unless there's a flag position in the front. You're really going to have to fly it at least 20 yards or so into that green, otherwise that ball is going to run towards the front.
That ball's run out certainly over 300 yards, Frank. Call it about 310. Superb shot.
Well, that's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business.
Things pointed to a good week. Birdie there, very important right now.
Playing some good golf. Rounding out the front 9 with a par 4 of 453 yards from the back tee. Looks to be straight away.
This hole looked like a faint dogleg right, but really the best line is still down the left side, so it still actually suits a draw off the tee. Green is slightly elevated and not very deep too, so judging that second shot, getting the right club is essential here at 9.
This has really been impressive. High level of golf today, putting on a clinic out there. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
But now a chance for a birdie. Frank, that birdie will help the cause. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
And the tee shot ends up in the bunker. About 120 yards to the hole. On the green, short, but plenty of real estate between the ball and the hole. Needs a pair of binoculars to see the hole. Good birdie right there, moving to third place on the leaderboard. On to the par 4 11th hole. Frank, what's the best play here?
No bunkers really here to worry about, Rich, so you have to pick something in the distance as a good line. Something a little bit away from the water that protects the left side of this fairway. And it's adjacent to the 15th hole, the other par 5 coming home. So a good drive, perhaps with a little bit of cut off the tee. And that should shape up nicely for this long par 4.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway. Second shot, good look at the green.
Should be safely on deck.
Well, that's how you play the game, right there. Getting set now over the putt. Frank, tie atop the leaderboard now.
I think it's certainly starting to get everybody captivated.
That was a nice birdie. There you have it. The second round is complete. Another solid effort put together, and it shows on the scorecard.
And after 2 rounds, you really start to see not only who's playing well, but who's consistent.
This is EA Sports PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Set in the Sonoran Desert and surrounded by the majestic McDowell Mountains, we're at the stadium course at TPC Scottsdale in Arizona. Hello again and welcome. Rich Loader alongside Frank Nobilo, set to bring you all the action for today's event. Frank, when you think about the TPC Scottsdale, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
The golf course has been radically changed in 2014, but it still hasn't lost its luster. Really, it's just been updated like the game itself for these young, strong players of the modern era. Oh, that's fine.
Frank, over the course of the last 15 years or so, there have been a number of initiatives within the game of golf just to try to grow the sport.
Yeah, we've seen the PGA Junior League, which is a series of competitions, obviously for juniors to play. But the first tee really is worldwide now, just to try and introduce players from all over the world into the game of golf. They're introduced with club professionals. They learn skills that are essential really to play the game of golf. But in 2014 was a real step, what I think, in the right direction to showcase the junior talent around the world with the drive, chip and putt, where you actually get a chance to play the drive, chip and putt final at Augusta National, the home of the Masters.
Imagine young kids, boys and girls, 8 years old, 11 years old, being able to go home and tell their friends, tell their families, hey, I have something in common with Jack Nicklaus, with Arnold Palmer, with Phil Mickelson, with Tiger Woods. I won at Augusta National Golf Club. Did a nice job with that putt. Good read, good speed. Back-to-back birdies, we'll see. Well, that's a bit disappointing.
I guarantee you, though, she thought she had that one.
This one just requires a little bit of focus.
Good read, good line, well played.
Par 4, 14th. Frank, it seems as though you'd be pretty happy with a par here.
You would, even though the putting surfaces here at TPC Scottsdale are excellent. It's going to take 2 good shots to reach this 14th hole. You can get in a little bit of trouble off the tee. That bunker on the left very much in play. The rough on the right side is no snack either, because the ball, more often than not, will finish well above the player's feet. And of course that green is very, very narrow, well protected by bunkers on the left.
Probably going to have to hit one more club here, Frank. A little bit uphill.
There's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Midway through this back 9, could use this birdie here at the 14th. Shouldn't be a problem here. You have to make those from that distance. That hurts. So a tester from 4 feet. A good effort and a good par putt. Now at the par 5 15th, and Frank, there is plenty to catch your eye. There's also quite a bit to catch your ear. You can hear the roars at the par 3 16th. So how do you focus on the task at hand?
Great question, Rich. You know, you realize you're about to enter the stadium part of the golf course, but this is the last par 5 that you're going to play. We've seen eagles here over the years. We've seen many a player hit it in the water off the tee or water short of the green. Certainly one of the tougher tee shots coming in. No bunkers here to worry about, just that huge lake to the left. Find the fairway. You might just find the green.
To the 15th green, but looking at a tough putt, considerably long, over 25 feet away, and getting ready for the putt.
When you consider the length of that putt, it's a good putt. Even par currently.
That's an important birdie right there, into the top 5 on this leaderboard.
Well, there's so much at stake this week, Rich.
Frank, the one moment that sort of made the 16th hole what it is today would have to be Tiger's ace in 1997 here at the TPC Scottsdale when it was raining plastic cups.
It was also his reaction, too, and that ushered in the Tiger Woods era that we became associated with, which is the fist-pumping, the Rory spectators. I mean, he was one of the few players that bridged the gap between spectator and golf course. And it still goes on till today. And I think Rory McIlroy probably is the only other player that starts to broach that type of inside and outside atmosphere with golf.
Still to this day, it's the loudest single moment that I can ever remember hearing on a golf course.
Oh, how did that miss?
Are you kidding me? I mean, that one was dead center. She'll be happy with par here.
That's a good par there, Rich.
Frank, when you get to the 17th hole, we always recall maybe the single most bizarre shot in the history of golf.
Yeah, everybody talks about maybe a hole-in-one at 16, but really 17. And the player was Andrew McGee. It was a good tee shot, don't get me wrong. But Rich, it needed an assist.
Well, the assist came from Tom Byram, whose brother Kurt is a commentator for the Golf Channel. Tom Byram was just minding his own business, standing on the green, sort of leaning on his putter, and you know what happened.
Yeah, the ball hit Tom Byram's putter and then careened into the hole. So, 17. Made famous, a little bit of history with a couple of names to drag up from the past. Really, this is an awkward length.
That's just a poor putt right there. No other way to say it. And a drop shot, a bogey at 17. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Not her best effort, walks away with a bogey.
Rich, 18 was always considered a long finishing hole.
Not for J.B. Holmes.
Yeah, the water was always in play. And then the day he took it over the left side and carried everything and went on to win, that completely changed the way this golf course played ever since that day.
And it resulted in some of the changes we're seeing now.
Yeah, evidence, the new bunkering down the left side, but it showed us all how much and how strong these guys are, how much they've improved over the years.
Slight waggle, relaxed arms, ready to go. Now, that for an easy birdie. Just a couple of feet. Frank, all of a sudden, another player to factor in on this leaderboard.
Yeah, and things are starting to tighten up right now. Going to see where the next move comes from.
This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. Simply put, there is nothing like it in the game of golf. It is by far the biggest spectator event in the sport. We're at TPC Scottsdale in Scottsdale, Arizona. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo. And Frank, what can you tell us about this golf course?
Well, everybody wants to know about 16, the famed par 3 here, surrounded by those skyboxes. Once again, that'll be a topic of the day. But really, this is a regular sight for the PGA Tour. So those of you that were familiar with the golf course, it's now changed. 2014, the designers Morris and Weiskopf did a massive renovation.
Well over 100,000 fans every day, better than 500,000 for the week. It's a giant party mixed in with a heck of a tournament. Frank, in the changing weather conditions, players have so many different options, don't they? Some might like to play it high. Others might want to play it a little lower along the ground.
Really got to be on your toes today because of that, Rich. And really, that's what separates the men from the boys, so to speak. You know that any mistake you make can obviously be magnified by the wind conditions. But conversely, it's a real good chance for skill to shine.
Sit down. Get down.
Oh, this is gone.
Well, too bad, Frank. That one rolled right off the green.
It was just coming out so hot.
Third shot. Looking for a good one. Birdie try up next. Might want to check the GPS on a putt this long. Looks like he just misread that. Has this one for par. There you have it. Well done. Great putt. Par 4 14th, and Frank, this hole packs a little punch, doesn't it?
Yeah, the addition of just a little bit more yardage, plus the bunker on the left is being pushed out into the fairway, actually makes the whole play a little bit longer than its 490 yards. Second shot is a little bit uphill. No longer is there a bunker on the right side. That side of the green is actually open. You don't really want to be trying to miss that green on the right. Should you decide to go at the flag, you're going to have to carry that front bunker.
Wayward from the tee, and this one is headed for the rough, Frank. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
That's still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
Been this way all day. Airtight, no mistakes, solid shot.
And yet another green in regulation.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Wrong time to be leaking oil here at the 14th hole, Frank.
Well, to state the obvious, too, that was very makeable. That's the one you'd expect to make more often than not. That's going to hurt.
Yeah, that really hurts, Frank. Missing the bogey putt.
Yeah, now time to get the handkerchief. Double bogey coming up.
Get in the hole.
Can you believe that?
All right, Frank, now the fun begins. We are teed up at the par 5 15th hole. Plenty to talk about here.
Yeah, the fairway down the left side is anything other than straight. It's more like a shipwreck, the raggedness of it. And that water in play, well, if you do find one on the fairway, you can sort of always wave across to the people that are walking down the 11th hole. Find the fairway, you can reach this par 5 and 2. A little bit of an island-looking green there, bunker on the left, and also another bunker just short right. But a fairway missed here. Well, you can rack up 5, 6, 7. We've seen all sorts of scores here at 15.
Frank, that swing looks lively and strong.
Oh, they had to fly 300. It's close to 310.
Now the second shot to the par 5. Crucial eagle attempt on the way. This is a long putt. Really, the key is the speed. If it drops, that's a bonus. So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. These putts keep the round together.
That's a shot gone forever.
Sitting right now at 2 over par for the round. Those keep the round going, those par putts. Well, partner, here we go. Players have characterized it as terrifying, chaotic, amazing. The stadium atmosphere here at this hole, the 16th of par 3, is really spectacular, isn't it, Frank?
It is. Because of the atmosphere, the number of people, this is the closest a golfer gets to like kicking a field goal in a Super Bowl, because it's just surrounded by people. It's not really the difficulty of the hole. Just over 160 yards, a modest par 3. There's no water in trouble. But it's an atmosphere that golfers never normally are familiar with.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Not close, but not bad either. I think it's about 25 feet away. Getting set now over the putt.
Had every chance of going in.
This from 7 feet. Frank, you hate to miss it from that distance.
More than a setback there.
Man,
Just pushed it.
well, that hurts. Frank, how do you explain what we saw here?
It's a mess. It's probably the easiest way to put it. This is a case of anything that could go wrong. Not just probably, it did.
That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. Always two components to the long lag putt, the speed, number one, and then the read. And missed out on that second part. Pretty good putt, Frank. Just didn't quite read it correctly.
Yeah, would have certainly liked that to go in.
Shouldn't be a problem here. Well, that's a bit disappointing.
I guarantee you, though, she thought she had that one.
Not going very well for her at this point. This is for bogey. Frank, it's been that kind of a tournament. Another bogey.
Yeah, it's not exactly a small gap between that player there and the rest of the field. That gap's got to feel like the Grand Canyon right now.
That's in the fairway. Second shot. Good look at the green. That shot does finish up on the green, but it sets up for a very difficult putt. Pretty long putt right here. You'd be happy to get it to within 2-3 feet. Man, that was dead in the center and just a little bit short. That's disappointing. Locked in on the read and the speed. You have to make those from that distance. That hurts. Hard to be perfect in this game. That's a bogey. Well, that'll wrap up our coverage of the final round. This is Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. We'll see you next week. NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Arnold Palmer Invitational. And about 210 yards to the flagstick here on this par 3.
Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Well, too bad, Frank. That one rolled right off the green.
It was just coming out so hot.
Great knees, great hands in this shot.
Yeah, touch. You have to have that feel. You have something between the ball and the club face, so it's a different feel, but you also have to have imagination.
Once considered the best player at the college level, our featured golfer makes birdie, sitting comfortably inside the cut line. Getting ready to tee off here at the 8th. Frank, this hole has it all. Dogleg, bunkers, water. How do you successfully navigate it?
It's such a pretty looking hole, Rich. That bunker down the left just sort of pops out and you see it. So you can either work it off that to the right, either that or just aim a little right. But be careful of those trees on the right.
Frank, as we look at the approach shot here at the 8th, no doubt a player would be happy to walk out of here with a par.
Oh, no doubt about that at all. Really, you want to judge your second shot to land somewhere in the middle of this green. Don't really want to be messing with the front. If you have a little look, you'll see why.
Miss hit, wrong club. What happened there, Frank?
All of the above, maybe. It's a little bit of a head scratcher. It wasn't that hard a shot.
Third shot, looking for a good one. You like this one, Frank?
Oh, it's a good one. Safely on.
Well, not in contention, but in for par. Rounding out the front 9 here at Bay Hill, 474-yard par 4. Frank, you've played this hole before. Where are you lining up when you step onto the tee here?
There's an out of bounds all the way down the left side that you have to be cognizant of. But that bunker, 290 yards carries it. And yet again, another hole that favors the long hitter.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Well on the green, but far from the hole.
Yeah, a little bit of a head scratcher. A lot of work coming up here.
Needs a pair of binoculars to see the hole. That was not a very good read right there. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Nice par to remain 1 under. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Not the best shot, this one in the rough, but still will have a play from there. Ends up in the first cut, and he'll have a pretty good look at the whole location from here. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
That's still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
That's a sensible approach shot right there. In good.
The awkward length. You'd like that one again.
That's costly right there.
Painful.
This one measures out to 15 feet. Tough start to the backside, Frank.
Yeah, it doesn't bode well, too. You start losing confidence with the putter early on.
One over for the day. Another par 4 here, the 11th. It's just under 440 yards. This time, there's water looming left and then bunkers on the right-hand side. It's a pretty good challenge, Frank.
This hole's very similar to the third hole on the front side. 2 bunkers down the right side. Just got to keep it a little left. You don't have to hit driver here.
Steeply up the hill here. This is going to play very long.
Should be safely on deck.
On the green, and a chance for birdie. This one just requires a little bit of focus. How did that stay out, Frank?
Did everything but go in.
So just a formality here. All right, no damage done. Stays at 1 over par with that putt. Alongside Frank Nobilo, I'm Rich Lerner for EA Sports. Thanks for joining us. Goodbye for now.